When programming a Toyota vehicle, it's important to determine if you have a valet key or a master key. There's a few clues. The Toyota valet key is typically with a gray head, while a master key typically has a black head. That's not always the case. The best way to know is by finding the blinking red security light. It may be up here on the dashboard. It may be in the center console. Occasionally, it may be to the left of the steering wheel. In the case of this vehicle, it's up high. Notice the blinking red light. When I insert a master key, the red security light stops blinking immediately. When I insert a valet key, the red security light turns on solid red for a couple seconds and then it stops. Now, if you have a master key, you can use Tom's Key Company equipment to make a spare key. If you don't have any master keys, you only have a valet key, this is the procedure to follow to make a new master key. Now I want to warn you, there's a couple important points. One, this does involve erasing all working keys, including this valet key. So if something goes wrong, you may find you have to call an automotive locksmith or a car dealership to come get the vehicle key programmed again. It is a risk you're taking on if you choose to do this because it will erase the key. The second thing to be aware of, you don't want your vehicle battery to drain. So make sure your battery has a good charge. And a good idea is to connect the battery to a charger so it never runs out. If the vehicle battery does drain fully while you're doing this procedure, you could cause problems and have to take it to the car dealership or a locksmith. So make sure your headlights are turned off, HVAC is turned off, anything that's using the vehicle battery is turned off. Okay, here we go. So for the purposes of this demonstration, I want to show that both keys work and start the vehicle. Here's our master key. It starts the engine just fine. Now I'm going to take the valet key. It also starts the engine. So if you only have a valet key, you can use this and then you can make a master key with it. To make things easier to follow in the video, I've put some tags onto the keys. For the purposes of demonstration, we're going to assume this is the only working key we have for the vehicle, is this valet key. I've put the tile key finder. Pairs to your smartphone so you can always find your keys. This key with the orange tag is the master key that currently exists for this vehicle. This is the new key. This one represents the key you can order from Tom's Key Company with the Key by Photo service. Does not start the engine. When you order your programmer a new key from Tom's Key Company, be sure you include the Key by Photo key cutting service. Then we can cut your new master key to fit the vehicle. Now there's an important note here. A master key for Toyota is cut slightly different than a valet key. And so, using the photo from your valet key, we can make a new master key cut. If you just go trace this cut, your new key will end up with a valet cut as opposed to the master cut you need to do this procedure. Now we're going to get into actually programming. To begin programming, you need to come down to your gas and brake pedal, look around until you see the OBD2 port. So first thing we got to do is get the Bluetooth light to turn blue. Fire up the app. This phone comes prepared to the programmer. Okay, notice the light just turned blue. You cannot program until that Bluetooth connection is made between the phone and the programming device. We're going to come into Toyota. This is a Toyota Camry we're working on today. Review these terms and conditions. There's some important cautions and warnings you need to be sure you accept before proceeding. Okay, now, first step, turn the ignition on, do not start the engine. I need to take my new master key, cut with the Key by Photo service, turn it 2 clicks to the on or run position. Notice the red security light continues to blink. This key is not yet programmed. Click key. I'm going to come into type, transponder key. This is a turnkey ignition system, and auto identify. It's communicating with the vehicle. Okay, found this is a type 2. Now this is very important. Make sure your new master key is in the ignition before you begin this all keys lost procedure. Enter the all keys lost section. Okay, the security light turned on solid red. Wait 5 seconds. There's the countdown. Do you want to program another one? I'm going to say yes. Tells me to wait 5 seconds. I did not remove or turn that key. Okay, now we need to pull this out. I'm going to insert the new key to be programmed. In this case, it's the valet key. Do not turn the ignition and click OK. Tells me to wait 5 seconds. Okay, do I want to program another one? Yes or no? I'm going to say no, I don't. Security light turned on solid red. Tells me to take the first key, insert it in to the ignition, and turn it from on to run 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I actually turned it on 6. Sometimes I notice that 6th time is necessary. Notice the security light has turned off. Click OK. Let's check our number of keys. 1 master and 1 valet key. Now I want you to notice when I was turning this key, the speed is about 1 second on, 1 second off. You want to do it at a steady, even pace. Not too fast, not too slow. This is our new master key. Inserted into the ignition, engine fires up. Notice that only took a few minutes. Our valet key has been restored. It fires up the engine. Now remember, this master key that we had for demonstration purposes, it no longer works. It just turns the engine over. No problem. If you have another key, maybe an extra one in the household, well, you probably didn't have more than 1 valet, but if you had extra ones, you can easily add it back in. To add that key in, I'm going to take my new master key, put it in the ignition, do not start the engine, click add a key. Tells me master key is needed. Do I have one? Yes, I do have master key. Tells me to take the master key, insert it, 2 clicks to the on or run position. Click yes. Okay, notice the security light. It turned on solid red. It's still solid red. It says to insert a new key. Do not turn it. That's been inserted. I click OK. Now watch the blinking red security light. Notice it's blinking a steady 1 on, 1 off. It will now count up about 60 seconds. You'll know this key's programmed when the blinking red security light stops. There we go. It stopped blinking, tells me programming's been a success. If I read the number of keys, I now have 2 master keys and 1 valet key. So, that key works. Wasn't that awesome? It really was pretty easy to use a valet key to make a new master key. As I mentioned before, there is a small risk that you end up with no working keys. In that case, you're going to have to get an automotive locksmith or a car dealership to fix the problem for you. As long as you understand that risk, this can be a great solution to go from a valet key on a Toyota to having a master key so you've got a spare. Can you believe that? Using a valet key and this key programming tool from Tom's Key Company, we now have a spare master key for our vehicle. It was pretty easy to do, but there are some risks. I want to point out, be sure you reach out to our customer service if you run into problems. We aim to provide great support and help you through any challenges. And if we can't get your spare key working, no worries, we've got a full money-back guarantee. Be sure you leave a comment below, let others know about your experience and how much money you saved over the cost the car dealership wanted to charge for a spare. Don't forget to subscribe and smash the like button so you can find this video again to follow along as you make a spare key for your Toyota vehicle.